So how's everything been going?
Good, yeah.
I know Ramona had told me, I guess a month or so ago, that you had met her. That you
I had met
Edwardsville.
her, and yeah, talked to her, and it's been a while since I've been here to talk to you, and I thought, I might as well start promoting Swift. I've been here for over 2 years.
Yep. It'd be about time.
Yeah. Right. You're mainly focused on owner ops and lease purchases. So So if you could go through the difference between the different leases that we have.
Okay. So you've got the FX.
Okay.
Which is, the one where if the driver is currently driving their company truck and love it, then they can take it and flip it to it and make it a lease truck. The benefit to that would be they know the truck and its behaviors. They know if it's a problem truck or if it's not a problem truck. So, they know its quirks and they can keep it.
So that would be a company driver that's in a company truck converting it over to a lease?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you got, the benefit to that really is right now the special is no down payment for that program only.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're out there running in a brand new 25 Freightliner and you love your brand new truck, well then we can just turn it into a lease and just continue doing what you're doing. You don't have to move your gear,
That's
it's the way to get the newer truck that maybe we might not have in our inventory.
Yeah, that's nice too.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you have the MRP and you have the new lease. So what's the difference between, go ahead and explain what the MRP is. Is it still 7 cents a mile?
It's actually 8.
Okay.
They did go up just because repairs and stuff like that are getting more and more expensive. So they had to kick it up a penny. But the MRP truck is anywhere now from like a 2020 to maybe a 22, just depending on the mileage. So at least the 20s and the 21s. Those trucks will run you anywhere from $430 to maybe $500 a week, just depending on the mileage of that truck. It's a 3-year lease with a $26,000 to $30,000 balloon payment. If it's a little higher mileage truck, it might even be $19,000, $20,000 on the balloon payment. Just it's dependent on what the truck itself specific. But you'll pay that at 8 cents a mile, which is basically it's spent money. It's just like insurance. You're buying an extended warranty or the MRP program. So routine maintenance and repairs are covered at 100%.
Okay.
Then anything major, maybe the turbo or something related to your engine, a 1 box on a Freightliner, specifically, that's an 80-20 split. So you can get it fixed, Swift will pay 80%, and then you're only responsible for 20.
Okay. What about brakes and tires?
Brakes, tires, and batteries are not covered. Same wear and tearables that you would get with, the manufacturer's warranty.
And hoses and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. And but when it comes to, you said there are some things that are covered at 100% maintenance, like
routine maintenance. Yeah, you come in for your B service, your PM, as long as you're doing it at Swift, of course, because it is a Swift, supported program.
Yeah.
Then it's automatically covered. Now there are some things that we'll go ahead and cover outside, like when you break down or whatever, you can't help but not go to Swift.
Yeah.
We're still going to cover you, but if you have the opportunity to go to Swift, then we want you to go to Swift.
Right. Okay. All right. So then you have the new program. So what all does that involve?
So right now, and there's still very little new, but with anything new or used, everything has a $2,500 down payment, which we're willing to finance at $100 a week. Now, if you were to get something brand spanking new or extremely low mileage, like less than 50,000, they will ask for a portion of maybe that up front, 500 to 1,500, just because we're trying to prioritize, where the new equipment goes because there's so little of it. But you can finance that at $100 a week. The new trucks are always 4 years. So any used truck, you're assuming the original lease. The payment might not go down substantially. However, you might lease the truck. If it's a 2-year-old truck, then you only lease it for 2 more years.
Okay.
And then at the end of that, with at least the Freightliners and the Kenworths, you have the opportunity to roll that truck over into the MRP program to get that balloon payment down lower just something that's more manageable, that 20 to 30,000.
What about the Volvos? Can you do that with the Volvo?
No Volvos and no internationals with that. And it's basically because Swift has the support of Freightliner and Kenworth, like in the shops in Phoenix. And, because we're such a big buyer of their equipment, we have additional maintenance support that we don't have with Volvo and International.
So if you have a Volvo or an International, then you're gonna, if you want the truck, you're gonna have to pay a balloon payment.
Yeah, you'll have to get outside financing to keep it. Or with any truck, you have the opportunity at the end of any lease to trade it in on something else, new or used.
So typically with balloon payments, how much are those on a new truck?
On a new truck, looking 60 to 70.
Okay.
Of course, you have excess mileage, that could bring that down, over the course of your lease, depending on how hard you run.
Yeah. So if you're a trainer like I am, then that can come down substantially.
Substantially.
Yeah. And as far as the MRP, there's no down payment on the MRP. Is that correct?
It still has the $2,500 down payment, but we'll finance.
Okay. All right.
If you do finance, then there's a $200 finance charge. But
okay, well, that sounds pretty good. Okay. So with the new, basically all the money that you get, explain that. If you're having money held out for mileage and stuff like that, how does that work?
So you're talking about like excess mileage?
Yeah.
Okay. So the excess mileage, basically, it works the same way as a car lease would. If you go lease a car, they give you like 12 to 15,000 miles a year that you can run. So the way I explain it to drivers is if you turn your truck in at the end of lease and you run 10,000 miles every month, you're looking at about 480,000 miles, right? So you have a full team where a mentor turns his truck in at the end of lease and he's got 750,000 miles on his truck. Well, he's depreciated his truck substantially versus the 10,000 miles every month driver. So that's what excess mileage is. It's basically to support the extra depreciation for high mileage.
And there's excess mileage being held in escrow, correct?
Correct. So if you, and what we do, it's 9 cents a mile over 10,000. So hypothetically, if you do 11,000 miles, you're looking at $90 for, that month. So if you ran that 11,000 miles in January, then in February you'd pay $22.50 each week. So they stretch it out over the month, so it's not one lump sum.
Okay.
All that goes into an escrow. So then at the end of lease, you go to purchase your truck. Then whatever you've saved over that period will come off the balloon.
Okay. Anything additional you're putting, I put I think 5 cents a mile into my maintenance account.
I mean, you can always use whatever you have in maintenance as well, to pay out your truck.
So let's say I get to the end of my new lease, which I'm on right now, and it's current truck I got, it's a 2022 Volvo, and I got somebody else had it before I did, so they said I would be under I'm doing a partial lease. Typically, how long do those last?
So, like I was saying before, anything, you're assuming that original lease period. So any truck that Swift gets is based off of 4 years. So if you get a truck that was out there being leased for 2 years, then you assume the remaining 2.
Okay.
So, yours with a 22, you're probably looking at somewhere around a year lease. Year and a half maybe.
So if you look at, do you have any way of pulling mine up? Taking a look at it?
Sure.
Okay.
Two, 3, 3, 7, 4, huh?
Okay. Yeah, and whenever I got into it, they said there's somebody else that had it. So if you could let me know how long were they into it for, and what's the remainder of mine on that 4 year? It's 4 year, right?
Yeah. So yours was, almost 2 years.
Okay.
So you have till February of 2026.
Okay. So once I get to now, was it
So basically, yours was like a year and 8 months.
okay? So when I assumed that, was there any money in the escrow or anything?
It goes. It would already be. It reflects in your balloon payment. So if the balloon payment when you started was, we'll just say 70,000. If the driver contributed anything to it, then your balloon payment would be 65 or whatever was in there.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it is applied to the actual dollar figure
Okay.
of the unit when you purchase it.
Okay. And all right. So any money that I save up between now and then, I could use for my balloon payment, like extra money I have in maintenance and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything over mileage and stuff like that, does that go towards the balloon payment as well, or?
Yeah, if you keep the truck, like I said, it covers the depreciation if you trade,
Uh-huh.
and but if you're buying it, that's your money.
Okay. So then if I go decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get a brand new truck, I'm going to order a brand new truck at the end of that 2 years, then any money that I have in my maintenance or whatever would go toward depreciation, and then I can
Actually, your maintenance account would transfer to the new truck.
Okay.
What they do with the excess mileage, and they call it loyalty dollars, but you might run hypothetically 15,000 miles this month, and you might run 9,000 miles next month, because you went home for vacation or something to that effect. So they refigure that excess mileage out again for that whole period.
Oh, okay.
So if you only have 480,000 miles, but you contributed, we'll say 12 months out of the 2 years, and you only have 400, and I'm just making up numbers, but if you only have 480,000 miles on your truck, well, then you've overpaid.
Okay.
And so that money would come back to you applied to your next lease, or at least applied to like any maintenance or that they had to do at the end of lease.
Gotcha. Okay, great.
So you do get that money back.
All right.
It's definitely an asset to do it, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Michelle, I really appreciate this, and I appreciate you and what you do with
Well,
the company.
the more that you do this, if you every time you come through here, if you want to have a quick,
I do.
I love it.
I'm going to do that.
I
yeah.
absolutely love it
Yeah,
because it gets
absolutely.
me out there as well as
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So, and I'll send people your way for sure.
Yeah, people come in and say, "Hey, you're famous. I've seen you somewhere." And they still ask me about Todd. So
Yeah. Yeah. Let me turn this off, and I got some questions to ask you.
sure.